Hi, Shira Star Goddess. I'm back. Hogwarts in the house. So today's Conspiracy Monday is going to be about what happens when you die. That tunnel of light. Do you go to the darkness? Do you go through the tunnel of light? Are there beings there to usher you through? Are they relatives? Are they aliens? Are they evil? What's going on after death? Like, some people say they see a bright light in a tunnel with dead relatives ushering them to the other side. Some people say they see demons, and some people say they don't see anything. Some people say they see, aliens or whatever. And the conspiracy is, if you go to the tunnel of light, you'll be recycled back into reincarnation on the planet. And some people say aliens kidnap you and erase your memory and then put your soul into another child being born. So you're born back into the planet, back into the matrix, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to tell you guys what I think about that from personal experience, okay? Now, someone asked me to do this topic, and at first, it kind of just went past me. And then I started really thinking about it, and I remembered a dream that I had when I was like 33. And it was a dream very similar to, like, if you die. Maybe I did die in my dream. I don't know. That's the weird thing about dreaming. You don't know if you were really dying and you just came back to life, and then, you survived or something. I don't know. But, I had a dream, or an astral travel, whatever you want to call it, that I was in this dark, dark, dark place. And at the top, was like a bright light, like a glowing moon, star, sun type light. It wasn't blinding like the sun, but it was shining like the sun and luminescent like the moon or a star. But you could clearly see it was a tunnel in a hole. And I was in the darkness, and I saw 3 beings. They were like alien, like, humanoid form beings. I guess people would probably describe them as like the Greys or something like that. I saw these 3 beings. Okay, I'm like, okay, what are y'all doing? They were just chilling in the darkness. They were just watching what I was gonna do. They were just like standing there saying, okay, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna do? It's her choice. It's up to you. And I felt like the light was pulling me, like, you want to go. And this is before I was even like learning about dark energy and all that kind of stuff, y'all. This is when I thought going to the light was what you're supposed to do. So I was looking at that light, but somehow, in some way, I felt like I'm not supposed to go up in there. I'm like, something is not right. I feel more comfortable here. It's like when you have a decision to make, it's like I feel more comfortable right here, right where I am, even if it's dark and I can't see anything. I feel more comfortable here. I'm staying here. And so the light was like, there was no consciousness of the light. It was just a light. There was no consciousness to it. Okay. And so I'm in the darkness with these little alien things watching me, and I'm like, they weren't being mean. They weren't trying to kidnap me. They weren't being evil. They weren't, they were just watching. Just watching. It's like, what you gonna do? And I was like, no, I think I'm gonna stay here. I'm not going to the light. I'm sorry, you guys. It doesn't look like fun to me. It's like I don't see anything up there that interests me. Okay. I like the comfort of the dark, and the unknown, and the depth, and the choice that I had in the darkness was what I grasped onto. I was weighing the options. I was like, okay, I have choice here. I have comfort here. I feel free here. I'm staying here. And so I didn't go. And then I woke up. So I don't know if that was a near-death experience. Maybe I was trying to die in my sleep, because at that time I was like, at that time I could have died any moment, because I had to have an emergency surgery that I didn't know about at that time until I went to the doctor like a couple days after. And maybe that was a premonition saying, you know, I'm about to die, or maybe I did die and come back. I don't know. I just don't know because I was asleep, right? So I did have to end up getting surgery. I just went in for a doctor's appointment, and they said, I'm sorry, ma'am, but you can't leave because you're under our responsibility. You have to get this surgery, or else you could die in, you know, anytime. I'm like, okay, let me get the surgery. So that was like, yeah, when I had that dream right after. And the weird thing is, I'd seen like those type of beings before when I was really young, when I was 3 years old. And so it's kind of weird that I saw them again at 33 and at 3. So I think I told that story before on one of my paranormal experience videos, about when I saw them when I was a child. So if y'all want to go check that out, it's under my paranormal vlogs, or paranormal experience vlog playlist. But yeah, so in my opinion, when you die, you get a choice. You get a choice to go to the light or stay in the darkness, or go, you know, into the darkness even further, a different direction than towards the light. A lot of people choose the light because it's been told that that's where they're supposed to go. It's been told to them, oh, like when you die, there'll be angels, that's heaven. You know, it's been told to you that that's a good place. And so many people just go and they become recycled back into, you know, the world. And like some people feel like it's heaven for a little while. It's like a little trick, and then they're sent back, right? So without really too much of a choice of where they're going. You know, they just, plus they have no prior knowledge, and if they do, it's only a little bit. So I feel like if you choose the darkness, you can stay in the darkness, come back at will. If you choose to reincarnate, you know, do anything until you choose to do it. It's all your choice. You have freedom. You have creative freedom in the darkness. As far as the light, I believe you don't get that much freedom when you are recycled back without even knowing what's going to happen to you. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the more knowledge you have about this subject, the better decisions you can make when you are transitioning from, you know, this plane to the next plane. You will have that knowledge, and you'll know what to do. Okay, you're not going to pick the wrong thing. You're going to say, okay, well, I have a choice. You're not going to say, oh, I'm supposed to go down this tunnel of light. That's what it's there for. A lot of things are there to deter you. So what do y'all believe? That's what I want to know. Like, and y'all don't have to agree with me to, you know, for me to, y'all don't have to agree with me. This is what conspiracy is. It's something to talk about, something to discuss. So if you don't agree with me, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. Like, it doesn't hurt my feelings or anything, because this is my personal belief. And when it's personal, it means it's only for me to believe. So if you have a different experience, that's your personal belief, and that's probably your truth. And if that's your truth, then that's where you're supposed to feel, you know, most comfortable. So as individuals, we're going to have different perspectives, and it's okay, because we're not all going to do the same exact thing when we die. Okay, we're going to do different things depending on our level of knowledge, our choice, the way we view the world, our morals, all that. So unless you are just like me, then you don't have to agree with me. I'm just saying. Okay, so yes, I believe there's beings there. Yes, I believe they watch you. Yes, I believe if you go through the little tunnel of light, and yes, I believe your memory is going to be erased, most of it, like 90% of it. Because some people do actually have past life memories through like hypnosis and stuff, so they can kind of bring it back out. But if you are like totally conscious, you know not to go to the light, and you come back like Hermes Trismegistus said, he's been here 3 times, he can come back in and out at will. I have died many times, I've come back. You know, if y'all read the Emerald Tablets, he said he can go in and out, he can live as long as he chooses, and then when he's ready to go, he can leave, come back, go into the darkness, you know, come back at any time, eons later, centuries later, and kind of come back and be, you know, continue where he left off. Because if y'all don't know the story of Hermes, he's supposed to be Thoth reincarnated, or Tahuti as they were originally called Thoth. he's supposed to be that. And he said he's been here 3 times. That's why his name was Trismegistus. 3 times great, because he'd been here 3 times and he took all his knowledge and continued where he left off. Or, that was what he said, So, even if it's a lie, if he was delusional and he just said, look, I like what Tahuti or Toth did, I'm just going to claim his stuff as mine, and I'm going to say I'm him, come back, and I'm going to take his work and continue on. It could have been like that, but who knows if it's really true or not. But he was like very, ahead of his time as far as alchemy and, metaphysics and all that kind of stuff. So you might have to think that he had been here before, or he had prior knowledge, or he was sort of like born in that era where, knowledge and alchemy and the arts and philosophy and all that stuff had been taught, because he had to get it from somewhere. He couldn't have, just pulled it out of a hat. Okay, so we have to think about stuff like that. You'll see some people who just excel at things like so quickly, and that knowledge is probably prior knowledge from a past life that they had. Sometimes they do remember, and they just don't tell anybody because they know how the world is. So like, I believe like a lot of people who are really into technology and building technology and all, this, electronics, computer programs, phones, like the computer industry, I believe those people have been reincarnated from, a time where they were just grand, smart, invention creating beings. Like they could have came from another dimension where their technology was far more advanced than ours. Because just because you reincarnate, if you go into the darkness when you die, you can choose where you go. You can choose, like, I want to go to a different dimension. I want to go to the past. I want to go to the future. Sometimes when you just go back to the light, they put you wherever. When you go to the darkness, you get to choose where you're going to go. You know what? I think I want to go to a different planet this time. I think I want to go to a different dimension, a different time. Blah, 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 blah. I think you get more of a choice when you stay in the darkness and not surrender yourself to the light. Because it's exactly what it says, surrendering. You know how they said, surrender to the light. If you surrender to the light, it's almost like you have no choice. So I would never surrender to the light. I will always stay in the darkness where I have freedom of choice, free will, and creative freedom. So that's how a lot of things that I talk about, I'm sorry y'all, about my appearance today. I know I look all raggedy. I just got back from the gym. But that's how a lot of things are given to me. Like a lot of people say, what books do you read? What books do you... I get this stuff from, personal experiences. I get this stuff from intuition. I get this stuff from astral travel. I get this stuff from... some stuff is like when you read other people's experiences, they have something similar. Sometimes the neurons are firing and connecting the dots to this subject and that subject. So that's how I get most of my knowledge. Most of the things that I talk about, unless they're in the Emerald Tablets, an alchemy book, or a symbolism book, I really don't have a book to recommend to you, because it's all here and here. I feel like I'm just connected and I'm open and I'm not put in a box to where I have a certain belief, and so I can continue to grow and absorb knowledge about certain things. If everyone else was like that, it'd be easier for them to get the knowledge as well. And plus, I don't follow anybody. A lot of people follow people, like, oh, I do this, oh, I watch Doctor this, or I follow him. I don't follow anybody but myself, because I'm responsible for myself, and where I lead myself is my responsibility, not anyone else's. I don't follow people. I listen to people. I hear what they say. I like what they say. I consider what they say, but then I take it and I make it my own, or I consider it and then make my choice from there. I do not follow anyone. Never have, never will. Don't follow nobody. Okay. Because to me, it feels like when I see men following other, people like guys or gurus or whatever, to me, it makes them seem weaker for some reason. I don't know. I just like a man who knows who he is, where he's going, how to get there without following someone else, because that's a leader, and I like leaders. Okay. I'll see y'all later.